Celebrities come and go. As the fans of these people in 2023, we actually have a pretty solid say in what happens to these celebs. The good ones will be left alone, but today we're covering the good, bad, and the ugly. As I'm Nate, this is Beyond the Screen, and today we're breaking down the top 10 celebrities whose fans turned on them. Number 10, DaBaby. The rapper formerly known as Baby Jesus, yes, that's very true, has always had a bad boy streak in the music industry. He's known for dropping some choice expletives on stage all the time, and even making fun of his fans right to their faces. This unfortunately culminated in him deciding it was appropriate to joke about a certain disease that is unnecessarily linked to the gay community. On stage, he told his fans, if you didn't show up tonight with it or any other gnarly STIs, then put your cell phones up. He said a lot of really weird stuff before saying the words put your phones in the air, like he was playing like a massive game of Guess Who or something. Alright, if you got brown hair, put your cell phone up! Of course, he was torn to shreds by the LGBTQ+ community, including icons like Elton John, Madonna, and one of his collaborators, Dua Lipa. Not only was he cancelled by fans, but he was actually set to release a clothing line with fashion brand Boohoo Man, but they backed out following the public outcry. To top it all off, two of his biggest performances set to take place at Lollapalooza and a concert in Atlanta were cancelled amid the flurry of complaint calls and emails that the venue had been receiving. DaBaby actually called himself cancelled on Twitter, joking about the whole situation, while one single tear just rolled down his face. Number 9, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle dominated the comedy scene in the 90s and early 2000s. His stand-up was considered to be the most gut-busting and entertaining around, and his role in films like The Nutty Professor, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and the cult classic Half-Baked are legendary. He took a bit of a break from starring in films to focus on his family and his true passion, stand-up comedy. Despite being on stage for over 12 years, Dave never really learned to follow suit with the times. There were certain topics that became rude to joke about. Many jokes considered funny in the 80s and 90s just haven't aged well, and unfortunately that seems to be like all of Dave's material. In one of his most recent Netflix specials, he made jokes aimed at the LGBTQ+ community. Jokes that are just not worth quoting or repeating or googling, leave it alone. They were rough enough to have Dave's fans turn on him immediately. While he was cancelled by his fans, Netflix actually defended the comedian, claiming that he had artistic freedom even after a group of Netflix employees and transgender advocates staged a virtual walkout. The co-CEO of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, who released the statement, later admitted that he handled the situation poorly. Oh, did you, Ted? Did you accidentally defend a man that was making fun of gay people? Oh, gosh darn it, oopsie doopsies. Number 8, Adam Levine. Adam was one of the hosts of America's newest and most favorite singing competition, The Voice. Unfortunately for Adam, though, he has a penchant for sending texts that he really just shouldn't have sent. Adam had been DMing Instagram model Summer Stroh. Those DMs were leaked online and were not the only conversations that he had partaken in. Several of Adam's fans released images and screenshots taken of deleted conversations with Adam's personal account. Summer released a TikTok making the claim that she and Adam had been communicating for almost a year, with Adam even asking if he could name his child after her. Ew. The TikTok went viral overnight, accumulating 1.4 million likes in just 2 days. Adam later released a statement on Instagram in which he claimed to regret his behavior towards anyone outside of his marriage. While he's never physically partaken in an affair, he has addressed his behavior with his family and is taking proactive steps to remedy the situation. Following the statement, the slew of screenshots and accusations rose, with several examples of his misdoing being shared to the world. Despite claims that the scandal didn't really affect his overall life, Adam has been replaced on The Voice and has been in hot water with his wife ever since, so I don't know, it sounds pretty effective to me. Number 7, Travis Scott. Travis Scott is a name that surely brings fear into your soul. Travis is a successful rapper with a terrible sense of venue capacity. In 2022, there was a sudden crowd surge at his Astro World concert in Houston, Texas. The event took place thanks to the roughly 50,000 person crowd suddenly moving towards the stage. The closer they got to the stage, the tighter the outdoor venue became, with more and more people closing in around each other. As many of us know, being surrounded by thousands of people can make even the coldest of hearts sweat. Needless to say, heat strokes were the least of the crowd's worries. After an all-out panic broke out, probably from all the people who were just claustrophobic in the crowd, the situation went from dangerous to disastrous. A total of 8 people were confirmed to have passed away from the surge, many from suffocation after being engulfed by a massive crowd. Travis Scott stopped the show 3 separate times during this event, only finally realizing what was happening when he spotted a fan passed out in the front row. He called for paramedics to help before ending the show and running off stage. Following this event, Travis was blasted by his fans, blaming him for overselling tickets to an outdoor indoor event in the summer. He took to social media to apologize and express his devastation at the outcome of the event, but despite the apology and inconclusive investigation, the concert was cancelled and Travis has yet to announce a round 2. Number 6. James Franco. James has placed himself in a little bubble of public exile for using his powers for evil. The man behind some iconic characters like his portrayal as the real-life filmmaker Tommy Wiseau, his role as Harry Osborn in the Spider-Man trilogy, and so many more seem to be on the way to a long, successful career following multiple collaborations with longtime friend Seth Rogen, as well as his turn in more serious roles like True Story as a man on death row telling his tale of woe to a writer played by Jonah Hill. Apparently though, James has a problem keeping his hands to himself, especially when it comes to his acting students. In 2018, 5 female students at his Studio 4 acting school in North Hollywood told the Los Angeles Times that Franco had parlayed his position to exploit them physically. 2 of those women sued, and Franco was forced to settle outside of court and fork over $2.23 million. At the time, he was writing, acting, and directing a show for HBO called The Deuce, which he was allowed to stay on and finish since it was being cancelled anyway. Not only did fans call for the cancellation of the series, but the public outcry forced Seth Rogen to drop his longtime pal, telling the Times of London that the scandal had changed their relationship and he had no plans to collaborate with James anytime in the near future. So if anyone was holding out for a Pineapple Express 2, it's not happening. That's lame. Number 5. Gina Carano. Gina was slowly building a name for herself in the early 2010s as a woman to be feared on screen, portraying characters like Riley Hicks in the Fast and Furious franchise and her most recent role as Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, a series that has decided to move on without Miss Carano on set, for the simple fact that she is very misguided on her views towards the world. In 2021, Carano made a series of politically charged social media posts, the most damning of which came when she compared modern American political polarization to camps in Germany in 1945. Yeah, those are not the same thing. She also mocked the usage of face coverings during 2020 and was one of the many celebrities who were claiming voter fraud following Trump's loss during election time. To throw a cherry on top of the trash sundae she was making, Gina also made her opinions on pronouns known, claiming that hers were beep boop beep. Man, this woman sucks! All of this combined eventually culminated in the hashtag #FireGinaCarano on Twitter, which began trending, fast forcing Disney as well as her management company to cut their ties with Gina completely. Needless to say, The Mandalorian is doing just fine without her. More time for Pedro. Number 4. J.K. Rowling. As a Harry Potter geek, this one stings. J.K. Rowling is known for being the author of the much-loved Harry Potter book series that was eventually adapted into 7 glorious magical movies and Order of the Phoenix. In June 2020, Rowling retweeted an op-ed piece that discussed people who menstruate, apparently taking issue with the fact that the article didn't use the word woman. She tweeted, "People who menstruate? I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wombend, wimpund, woomud." While this tweet garnered massive amounts of backlash from fans, Rowling actually doubled down on her views in more detail. She tweeted, "If gender isn't real, there is no same-gender attraction. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of gender removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives." Like what? I don't know. So according to her, because some people are transitioning, it somehow means that every conversation we have on the subject is meaningless. Okay. Why did she have to suck so bad? She went on to say she respected trans people's right to live in any way that feels authentic to them. At the same time, her life has been shaped by being a female. She claimed it wasn't wrong to speak the truth and be proud, but like, hey man, sometimes it is. Everyone in the world called JK out for her comments and views, with not only HP fans, but the live-action Harry Potter stars themselves even taking to Twitter calling her behaviors atrocious, standing with the trans community. JK's publishers dropped her from the roster, and the future of her writing career has gone up in flames. Lacanum inflammare! That's the spell to make fire in Harry Potter. I'm ashamed I didn't have to research that. Number 3. Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen had one of the most successful daytime talk shows of all time until 2020. Her show became overwhelmed with accusations of a toxic work environment from former employees. They were claiming that Ellen's happy exterior was nothing more than a facade put in place to keep the audience on her team. A small bit of proof came when she accused 50 Shades of Grey actress Dakota Johnson of not inviting her to a birthday party a few months prior. Dakota reminded her that she had in fact invited her, and received notice from her producer that just Ellen didn't want to attend. Fans began questioning the awkward moment, and the cracks in her appearance grew bigger and bigger. Eventually, an article was released containing testimonies from several former employees, with too many stories to have been a false narrative. Ellen's fans took to Twitter demanding that she respond to the article and the claims that she was herself a short-tempered tyrant. She didn't respond, as you may think, with a public apology. Instead, she was forced to cancel her show amid the controversy and has been on a hiatus ever since. Oh well, more time for Kelly Clarkson, I guess. Number 2. James Corden. It was The Late Late Show starring James Corden. The popular talk show featuring a slew of fun challenges and skits was cancelled after it was revealed that the show had been making no money for over 5 years. The main reason the show was tanking were the low viewer numbers, caused by fans avoiding the program just at all costs. While James may have played a bubbly talk show host in front of the camera, his behind-the-scenes personality showcased his true intent. In real life, James is a short-tempered man and believes that he is above everyone else in terms of his performance caliber. Okay, this is coming from the guy whose greatest acting achievement is Cats. Following one particular incident in 2016, James's fan base turned on him after he was spotted treating waitstaff at a local restaurant just so poorly. So bad that he was banned from returning and publicly blasted by the owner himself. With the number of angry fans rising, the numbers on his show just got lower and lower to the point where he was forced to cancel the entire thing earlier this year. Oh well, at least we still have Jimmy Fallon and like 20 other late night hosts. And at number 1, Kanye West. Oh shocker, it's the king of controversy, Kanye West. I know he goes by Ye now, but I don't care. Kanye may have been a famous rapper, but we can agree that he's now best known for being Kim Kardashian's crazy ex-husband. In 2019, Kanye released a series of tweets just so full of demonetizable content, so juicy. He said horrible things about several races and religions, to the point where his account was shut down and he was banned by Twitter itself. His account went dark and the dominoes of bad luck just began falling down one by one right on his face. The world of Twitter tore him apart, with basically his entire fan base turning on him and placing him in the role of bad guy. His shoe brand was discontinued, his wife cheated on him and divorced him, and his best friend in the whole wide world got kicked out of the office and replaced by Joe Biden. I'd feel bad for the guy, but again, I don't care. And those are the celebrities canceled by their own fans. Who do you think deserves to be on this list? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Screen today. Be sure to come back every day for more celebrity content and have a great time. We'll see you next time.